हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Let's pray together. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देशतारिणी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you Achyut Prabhu and the devotees for giving us an opportunity to share some aspects of the devotional service. So we sang a very beautiful bhajan today. This bhajan says that Oh my Lord, please come and bestow your presence in my heart. Oh Krishna, oh Murari. And I would really like to offer with devotion a beautiful garland, scented pulp of chandan. Oh Lord, please accept it. Either in life or death, I just want to serve you. I just want to offer different kinds of puja offerings to you. Oh beautiful one, oh enchanted one, please accept my humble devotional service. Oh Nanda Kumar, oh Nanda Nandan, I want to offer arti to you with the enlightened lamp of my love. And oh my Lord, in separation of you, oh Girdhari, in separation of you, torrents of like tears really flowing from my eyes, just like Yamuna. And my only desire is that for forever I want to sing your glories. Oh Murari, oh Sri Krishna Murari. So today we have been requested to speak on one aspect of Navavidha Bhakti. Our acharyas have given different limbs, different ways through which we can connect to the Supreme Lord. There are 64 limbs of devotional service are there. And out of that, Navavidha Bhakti, the 9 are prominent. And today we will be discussing on this aspect of Archana, worshipping the deity form of the Lord. But before that, I thought everybody is talking about water nowadays, right? Isn't it? It's the only thing that everybody talks about it in Bengaluru now. Namage Niru Bekku. Yes, mine.
Yours 8 foot.
Prasad. They say what to do, how to get water. How to get water? Ennu madಬೇಕು. Yes, bro.
Pray to Lord.
Pray to Lord, okay. How do you get water? Because some of our prayers are not strong enough. How do you really get water?
No, nine.
Where is the water available? How do you access water? Huh? Japa Yajna, okay. Okay, yes, Srila Prabhupada had done it in Hyderabad, some devotees had done it in Spain. Yes, I'm not sure if we are strong enough. Yes, definitely we can try that also. But how do you really access real water? I want water right now. How do I get water? Huh? Where can I get water from here? There are different ways, right? We can get water. We can go to the ocean, the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Huge water is there. Or, right, we can go and ask the cloud, Ghanasyam, oh, Megha, Badal, please come soon. Let the rainy season come sooner so that we get the water. Or, of course, still there is a fighting happening between Nama Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, right, about Kaveri water. Yes, fortunate are the people who are near and on the bank of river, they get the water so easily. But we are not so fortunate, we are very far still, and hardly we get water maybe once in a week or maybe a couple of hours in a day. Or in some areas, the Kaveri water is not at all there. Right? Or people go dig so much, I don't know, nowadays they how much? 200 meter or I don't know. Right? Hundreds and hundreds of feet to get some water. But now, underground water is also now empty. So now how to get water now? Yes. 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 We only pray that somehow or other the water comes to our tank, and from that water, we really open the tap, and from the tap, we get the water. So if we want water, we don't really go to the ocean, we don't really go to the cloud, we don't really go to the river, we don't really, start digging, start a borewell to get the water. Whenever we need water, we go to the water tap and we get the water, isn't it? Or is there something, oh, I need water, I am really thirsty. I just because water papers are there everywhere, isn't it? Can I get water from there? Yes, water is there everywhere, right? But we need, certain system, certain apparatus to get the water. Similarly, our acharyas mentioned that yes, Lord is there everywhere. How Lord is there everywhere? Lord is there in this Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, and that is inaccessible to us. Is there anybody can access the Lord in the Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, which is like ocean water? No, we cannot access. Yes, there are some yogis who can really access that, but we don't have the technology to convert the saline water to the fresh water yet, which is not so readily available. Or the clouds. These clouds are really, you can say, they are considered as like the inaccessible forms of the Lord. How? They are like the Chaturbhyuha forms. Like from Krishna comes the Vasudeva Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, right? And then comes the Sankarsana, then once again the Chaturbhyuha. All these, Chaturbhyuha forms of the Lord, this Bhyuha forms of the Lord, that also we cannot access. Only Lord Shiva, who was worshipping Lord Sankarsana, he could really access the presence of the Lord. That's also difficult. Or, let's say, there are another form of the Lord is called Vibhava forms. They are like all the Lila avatars, Nrsimha avatar, Varaha avatar, as like Matsya avatar, Vamana avatar. They also come for certain period of time, and they also manifest their pastime and they get unmanifested. That also you cannot get it. They are like the rivers. Like at a certain point of time, at certain place, you get that water, but not all the time for all the people. Like yes, all the Ayodhya Vasis at that point of time, they get the association of Lord Ram. But now, right, we aspire to have, but we don't get it. Or the underground water, which is nothing but the Paramatma which is in our heart. Can we access, can we really listen to Paramatma in our heart? Is it possible? We are not yet there. Lord is there. Like we hear that there are two birds in the tree. One is really enjoying the fruit, another is really watching. And the Paramatma is there, who is really watching all our activities. But we are not able to access, the voice of Lord. But then Lord mercifully presents himself as the Archa Vigraha, through which we can really connect to him, through which we can really access that mercy of the Lord. So this Archa Vigraha form of the Lord, the deity form of the Lord, is really accessible to all of us. Are we clear so far? So now, somebody might ask that, yes, no, I have heard that Lord is, having Virat Rupa, He is having Vishwarupa, right? I want to worship the Vishwarupa of the Lord. Why do you want to really limit himself to a form? What do you say to them? Why do you want to really put the Lord in certain form only? Lord is there everywhere. Lord is like, He is a Vishwarupa. He is universal. Yes, very good. That's what Prabhupada says, right? That if you really say that the Lord is there everywhere, then the Lord is there in the deity also. And then Prabhupada, says one more beautiful thing. He says that if you want to really worship the Vishwarupa, can you really decorate the Vishwarupa? and how much dress you would really like to have, how much prasadam you would really like to offer, how much bhoga you can offer to him. It's not possible. That's a, mercifully he has really appeared in a form so that he can really accept our humble offering, so that we can really relate to him. So, there's another example our Upanishads give, right? In a cow, we see that the cow takes the grass, it transforms into the blood, and the blood transforms into milk. Does it that this transformation of milk, from blood to milk, happens only in the udder? No, it happens throughout the body, right? But can you really find the milk in all the parts of the body? No, we find only in the udder, right? So though it is there everywhere, right? Or another example, which we can all relate to it, right? This vibrations, the sound frequency, that is there everywhere. But why do you need a mobile? Can we not just speak without a mobile? We need an apparatus, we need a device to really receive and to really send the sound voice, right? Though the sound frequency is there everywhere. Or in the same, also some television programs also, right? All these frequencies, right? So are there everywhere. The vibrations, the light particles are there everywhere, right? Through the satellite it is coming, right? But we need a TV to get this live of some event or something that we want to really watch it. So yes, it is there everywhere, but we need certain device, certain instrument which is designed for a certain purpose with a specific ingredients. Then we can really access that. Some people say that, oh, by the way, still, why do you want to really limit the Lord? Because Lord is, nirguna. Lord doesn't have any material form. And why do you really put him into a material form? Right? Like we hear about Lord Jagannath. They say, Daru Brahma. Oh, Jagannath is wood. Or maybe we say, Radha Madhav, he is a stone. Right? Like why the people say that? Why do you want to really put the Lord into some material, some matter? How do you say them? Yes, our Acharya is saying that once again, that it is not that once the Lord is worshipped in a certain way, it does not remain matter. That matter gets transformed into spiritual. This is a transcendental transformation happens. Right? Especially there are the vision, right? Certain vision is required to see the Lord. There is something called Jada Drushti. Jada Drushti means you are seeing through the eyes. Like we see the deity as a certain matter. Right? We see that this is made of black granite, or this deity is made of maybe white marble. This is made of this neem tree. This is made of maybe other any other maybe earthly material. And that is Jada Drushti. And people don't realize the divine aspect of it. And there is another aspect called Manamaya Drushti. And Manamaya Drushti, what do you say? Oh, right? Yes, they have really done this beautiful form of the Lord. They have decorated it nicely. They start appreciating some material aspect of it, right? Of course, whatever we put it for the Lord, they are not material, but they just kind of relate to that. That the decoration is nice, the garland is nice, the crown is nice, or the architecture of the temple is nice. They start appreciating some aspect of it, through the mind, through intelligence. But the real vision that through which we can really see the deity is called Chinmaya Drushti. What is Chinmaya Drushti? We see the deity through the eyes of the Acharyas. we see the deities through the eyes of the scriptures. Then we realize that these deities are not just a statue. These deities are not just an idol. Right? It is mentioned that Saksad Brajendra Nandana. Pratima nahe tumi Saksad Brajendra Nandana. You are not a Pratima, you are just not a form. You are the Lord. Some people say that, oh, the Lord is in the deity. Is it right statement? Is it right statement? What do you say? What do you think? The Lord is not in the deity. The Lord and the deity, they are not different. The Lord and the deity, they are not different. And the deity is the Lord, not that the deity is in the Lord. And especially when we hear that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to go to Jagannath Mandirs, Puri, he used to see not just like Jagannath in some wooden form. He used to see in a Shyamsundar form of the Lord. Gaurudare pache rahi kare na darshana, dekha na Jagannatha hoye murali vadana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was having darshan of Lord Jagannath, staying near Garuda. How many of you have been to Jagannath temple, Puri? Yes, last year we had gone in a yatra. So Mahaprabhu used to stay near the Garuda Stamba and he used to have darshan of Lord Jagannath. Right? But then he was seeing Lord Jagannath as Murali Vadana, as a Shyam Sundar form. That is the vision that he had. Because yes, this is not just an ordinary just wood. Because it has really gone through certain process. So that's why the devotee with that Premanjana Churita, right? They really don't find any difference between the Lord and his form in the temple. And just for your information, it's not only about the vision of a pure devotee, but even the process through which they carve a deity. We're just going through some research, right? Especially some of you might be knowing that there is a process called Navakalevara, where the Lord Jagannath, right, comes out with a new form. So during that point of time, they really find out, right, specific tree, specific neem tree, especially for Lord Jagannath. They see that okay, and that tree should have 4 main branches. They really see that there must be a water body near that tree. There should be ant hill near to that. They see that there must be a snake pit near it. No birds, right? They would have made any nest there, and it should be surrounded, by 3 mountains, or it should be close to, a 3-way road, right? And no creepers should have really, be there on that tree, right? And importantly, they say that, it should be surrounded or nearby. There should be trees of Varuna, Sahada, Bilwa, right? All these trees should be nearby. Even to get the Bilwa tree itself, it's very rare, and all these 3 trees should be there. But most importantly, as you can see from here, right, there should be marks of Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in the tree. Then only they take that tree as a bona fide one to carve the deity. So you see here, there is a Sankha here, there is a Chakra here, there is a Padma mark here, and there is a Gada mark here. This is the tree that was carved during 1996. So all that marks would be really manifested, and then only they decide, right, for Navakalevara. And of course, there is also so much more detailed procedure is there, how they really bring a golden axe to cut the tree, and then how they really bring the deity. They go through this special sthapatya, they really carve the deity, and there's a prana pratishtha, there, the deity is really, gets enlivened, right, through this, form, right. Or recently, last week, we had a wonderful festival in Mayapur. Anybody knows what was a wonderful festival we had? Panchatattva Abhishekam. And what else we had? Yes, Mataji has been following because Mataji is here, but her heart is there in Mayapur. Right? Yes, we really brought Lord Narasimha into this TOVP, Temple of Vedic Planetarium. But some of you might be knowing. How many of you know the story how Lord Narasimha came to Mayapur? How many of you know this story? Very few? Very few? Yes. Maybe we can just tell very briefly. Right, during 80s, in Mayapur, there were a lot of dacoits, and they were torturing the devotees. And they want to loot the property of the temple. And somehow they came to know that, these English people, the foreign people, they have brought a lot of gold, a lot of jewelry, and these deities are also not different than made up of these precious metals. So let's attack and let's take them. So they were coming again and again, right, and harassing the devotees. But somehow or other, the devotees, some of you might have heard the stories how the devotees, they went through so much of difficulties to protect the deities. But then they really came together, find out how do you really come up with a permanent solution for this. And then the devotees said that, we have heard from Bhaktivinoda Thakur that Lord Narasimha is the protector. Let's install Lord Narasimha there. And after that, the devotees, and they really thought, but we need a special Narasimha, who is really Ugra Narasimha. The deity, the Lord Narasimha, who had just come out from the pillar. Right? And they made the sketch, and they found that in South India, they are very specialized thapatis are there, and they can do it. So they came to South India. So this is a devotee named as Atma Tattva Prabhu. He came to South India and he was searching everywhere, and he was showing this deity of this Ugra Narasimha, and just seeing this deity, right? Everybody was getting scared. No, we cannot do it. Just forget it. Right? And somehow or other, right? He went to one Sthapati and said that, okay, we want to, carve a Narasimha deity. Could you really please help us? I said, yes. But then as soon as he saw this deity, they said, no, we cannot do it. But can you believe it? Right? There was one deity, right, near in Kannada, right, on the way to Mysore. Right? There is this deity, and once, right, the worship standard really gone down, the whole place become like a desert. Right? This deity is so ferocious, nobody can really worship him. And a special Naistika Brahmachari is required to worship this deity, and special standards to be maintained for worshipping this deity. And he kind of just said no. Right? And then he said this devotee requested again and again. They said, okay, let me check with my guru. Then he went to this Kanchipuram, this Saraswati, right? And then he said, okay, could you please let us know, these devotees are coming again and again to have this deity. Can you do it? And then this Kanchipuram, this Shankaracharya said, no, it's not possible. We should not do it. And then he came back and said, hey, this is what my guru also said, we cannot do it. And after a certain point of time, this devotee came back and requested again, right? And before the devotee is coming, this Thapati got a letter from that Shankaracharya, about the renovation of that temple. And then, by the way, at the end he wrote that, yes, you can really build, you can really carve this Thanu Narasimha, for Hare Krishna devotees. And they did once, this Atma Tattva Prabhu, he heard it that, his guru has really approved it. He was so happy. And then he asked, how much time it will take? I said, okay, no worries, I'll build it in 6 months. And this devotee, he went and really, took care of all the paraphernalias, purchased all the brass paraphernalia and so many things. And once again, he came back after 4 months and he told this Thapati, all right, Thapati, and now it's 6 months. What is the deity? And this Thapati said, what? Deity? I have not found this slab yet. What to speak of the deity? but you said that you will do it in 6 months. But he said, you can really go around in the South India, there are stone slabs everywhere. You can get a slab and you can start carving. And this Thapati said, do you think that I am making a grinding motor for you? Right? To build the deity, to carve the deity, we need a special stone. Right? A living stone. Right? He said that, once we knock at certain places with certain ways, the stone will speak. There should be certain marks by the special insects, which will really show that there is a thread of the Lord there. There will be special marks on the stone. We cannot take any stone and we can really carve the deity. Right? And but then the devotee said, okay, I understand. Like all the intricacies of this, sthapatya. But please tell me, when can we do it? Right? And they said, okay, let me find out. And then, I'll be able to do it in 6 months. Said, okay, please do so, because all our devotees have been really, really waiting for it. And finally, this Thapati is really found a stone with respect to that specification. And then, once the carving is done, right? And one day what happened? He saw that his heart is burning. His heart is burning. And then he realized, this is the power of this Ugra Narsimha. Right? I cannot keep this deity as it is. I have to send him, right, as quickly as possible to Mayapur. Then he called the devotee, please come and take your deity. Right? And then this devotees were saying that how while even taking the deity through this road, through this long road, how miraculously so many things have performed, and deity really reached there. And then on the how the Lord got really so many pastimes now, right? Especially our Pankajagiri Prabhu, Jannivas Prabhu, they have made a very beautiful book also about the pastimes of Lord Narasimha in Mayapur. You can really, here you can really understand that how Lord is so reciprocating. And then, yes, especially, yes, Lord Narasimha, this Ugra Narasimha is very ferocious. But because this deity is in Mayapur, this Audarya Dham, this Audarya Dham is really overpowering even the Lord's, the ferocious form. And also Lord Narasimha, it is mentioned that Lord Narasimha is so dear, to the devotees. But he is like a demon. He is like so ferocious to the demons, just like a cat, is so favorable to the kittens, but ferocious for the rats. Right? Similarly, yes, the Lord reciprocating so beautifully with the deities, with the devotees. Now the devotees might ask that, okay, we really bring the deity, but then why to put so much of kharcha on the archa? Right? Why do you really want to spend so much? Why do you really want to build some grand temples, grand things, right? And there, Srila Prabhupada really brings in this very beautiful purport that a devotee would really like to see the Lord face to face. A devotee like to serve the Lord in a very personal way. And yes, he understands that, right? This why there is a kharcha for archa, right? Because then he comes in the association of the devotees and do Bhagavad Charcha. Right? Once you understand from the scripture, then we really see that how Lord is so merciful. How because of his causeless mercy, because of this exhibition of mercy, he really comes and showers a loving reciprocation with the devotees. And people, they spend billions of dollars in so many nonsense ways. Recently somebody was saying that in 2023 World Cup, Cricket World Cup, do you know how much money was spent? They say something around 220 billion rupees. Can you believe it? 220 billion rupees. And people will not talk about it. Right? One time, I think Pejawar Swami Matha, right? Like the Acharya at that point of time, right? Viswasara, right? He was asked, "Oh Swamiji, why you are really building this beautiful, diamond crown for this Lord Krishna?" Because they have this paryaya system. They have 8 paryayas and 8 groups of devotees, and one group of devotees they really take care for 2 years, and each devotee they really like to serve the Lord Krishna in a very opulent way, very nice way. And during this paryaya, he wanted to make it special, and he wanted to really build a diamond crown. And all the reporter, everybody was asking, "Oh, why you really building this crown, diamond crown, which really costs crores? Why don't you really fit to the poor people, or why don't you do so many other things?" Right? When people spend this billions of rupees for so many their sense enjoyment, nobody will ask them, nobody will talk about it, right? But then they really don't understand that once we spend something for the Lord, when the people come and see the decoration of the Lord, decoration of the deity, their heart got transformed. Their, all their anarthas, this lust, greed, anger, everything gets transformed into the divine qualities. This is the power of the Lord. That's why all our acharyas, they really like to serve the deity. Like in Vrindavan, we see that we have Radha Govindji temple, personally worshipped by Rupa Goswami, Radha Madan Mohanji worshipped by Sanatana Goswami, Radha Vinodji worshipped by Lokanath Goswami, and so on. And at that point of time, there was one devotee called Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So he was worshipping a lot of Salagram Silas. The Salagram Silas are also, of course, not ordinary Silas. They are also available only in a certain place called Gandaki River, and with certain marks and so on, right? So, and you would not find any other mark except the Sankha Chakra Gada Padma. There are different ways. So there are called Damodar Silas and Baman Silas and all that. Right? So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he was worshipping Salagram Silas. But then he had the desire that all my friends, right, they have been worshipping the deity with beautiful ornaments, beautiful costumes. But how much can I really offer to this Salagram Silas? Yes, I offer water, I offer tulasi, but I also want to really have a deity through which I can really offer some personal costumes and decoration and ornaments to the Lord. And that was the day of Narsimha Chaturdasi. And then next day morning he woke up and then he went to Yamuna river to take bath, and as he came, and then once again he opened the altar to take care of the deity. What he really found? One of the Silas is transformed into Radha Raman deity. And it is considered, this Radha Raman deity is so beautiful. Right? It is mentioned that especially the Radha Madan Mohan deity, his lotus feet is considered as like exactly equal to the feet of the Lord Krishna. Radha Govindji deities, his chest part is just like Krishna's. And Radha Gopinath deities, this face is less like Krishna. And it is mentioned by all the Goswamis, the Radha Raman deity, right? All the forms are looking exactly like Krishna. All the limbs are exactly looking like Krishna. So Radha Raman Bhagavan ki. Yes. So it's not that the neophytes, right? They get an opportunity to offer their loving devotion to the Lord. But even the advanced devotees, like the Goswamis, even they have also dedicated their life, right, for propagating the deity worship of the Lord. They engage their associates, their assistants, for serving the different deities in Vrindavan. So, yes, they are causeless mercy. But then some people may ask that, oh, if Lord is so powerful in the deity, why sometimes, even the deity form also gets abused and temple gets, exploited? Why it happens? Especially during this 15th, 16th, 17th century, a lot of things had happened. And some people might ask, why it happened? What do you think? How do you explain it?
Since Krishna is absolute,
Yes.
Hare Krishna. So, since Krishna is absolute, all the qualities should be there, right? I mean, if he is only all powerful and not dependent on the devotees, then that would not, exhibit the completeness of Krishna, basically. So, like the basic form of Lord being dependent upon the devotees is just, one of the aspects of his absoluteness or completeness.
Yes. Good, Prabhuji. So, it is mentioned that like when Lord Narasimha appears, he shows his ferocious form, he shows his Bhakta Vatsalata, right? But then when Lord Krishna comes, he comes, to show his Audarya form, to show his Madhurya form. When Lord Ram comes, he shows, his, Maryada Purushottam and aspects of the Lord. So when the Lord appears as the Archa Vigraha, he really shows receiving, as a function of receiving the love of his devotees. Right? That is his function. That is his like you can say the activities of the Lord. He is there to receive the loving service. He agrees to receive based on whatever the devotees would like to offer. So here. And it's the responsibility of the devotees to take care of that, to offer their love, to offer their everything for the protection of the deities. And there's a very beautiful pastime. It is there in our Chaitanya Charitamrita also. There is a place called Srikhanda. I'm not sure if any of you have been to Srikhanda. This is near Navadip. So we thought that we will share some Gaur Lila pastimes because Gaur Purnima is coming, so that we can become Gaur consciousness, Gaur Chetana. So in Srikhanda, there used to be the brother of the two brothers like Mukunda Sarkar, Narhari Sarkar, and this Mukunda's son was known as Raghunandan. So one day what happens, this Mukunda, he says to his son that, oh my dear son, I'm just going out and this is the time for offering bhoga to the Lord. Why don't you really help me and just offering bhoga, and please ensure that bhoga is really offered. And this is such a small boy, right, around 7-8-year-old boy, and he went to the altar, he offered the bhoga. And he prayed to the Lord, oh Lord, my father has told me to offer the bhoga, please accept it. And then he came back. And then he went after a couple of minutes. It was lying as it is. And then he started crying. Oh Lord, my father will be really angry with me that you didn't ensure that, Lord accepted our offering. Please accept it, with so much of intense love. He really prayed to the Lord. Pray to the Lord Gopinath and sing the love of the child. Right? The Lord spoke, oh my dear child, so I think you don't know how I take it. I really glance the bhoga, what is really offered, and I accept it. And somebody might say that, how it is possible? Right? Like once you take it, means it becomes empty, isn't it? How it is possible that it remains as it is once you accept it? Can anybody explain it? How does it happen? Because
the food is spiritualized actually. So in spiritual world,
What is spiritualized?
And 1 plus 1 is also 1.
Okay. How else? Anybody? Just like a very crude example we can give, right? We send an email to someone, right? The email goes to that person, and one copy also sends in our sent items also, isn't it? The same thing. Right? Or sometimes we read the poem, right? And it gets stored in our brain. But that same poem is there in that book also. Does it get erased? No. But did you accept it or not? Did you take it or not? Yes. So the Lord, Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vritti Manti, Pasyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti. So Lord, through his glance, he really accepts the loving offering of the Lord. Because Lord doesn't want, whatever we really offer. His Lord is not hungry. That chaliye prasad time ho gaya, one Prabhuji will get over. Then I want to have prasadam as quickly as possible, sumptuous prasadam. No. He's really looking for, he's really thirsty and hungry for the love that the devotee want to offer it to him. Bhaktya, and the love, right? And that's what, Lord gave a complete class that how, he really accepts the love of his devotees. But, this was very difficult for him to understand. No, my father has said you have to accept it, you have to accept it. And the Lord said, okay. With your love, I can do anything, because Bhakta Vatsalya, Bhakta, he is really conquered by the love of his devotees. He started, taking that, right? And then, he brought that empty plate. At that point, after a certain point, Mukunda came and said, okay, please give me now prasad. And this mother of Raghunandan said, what prasad, like today Raghunandan offered it to the deity and he brought the empty plate, there is nothing else. And Mukunda asked Raghunandan, what happened? No, you asked me to offer and I offered it. Right? And then Mukunda said, yes, my son is not an ordinary son and he is really empowered. Right? And let me check. Okay, by the way, I am just going once again. Can you please offer this laddu to the Lord? And this time what Mukunda did, he was really hiding behind this door. And he was saying, okay, how the Lord is really accepting. And as Lord was accepting, and the Mukunda really opened and said, oh my Lord, you are so merciful that you have really accepted the offering of my son. And still now, right, like they say that that half-eaten laddu is still there. And it is mentioned that one time Raghunandan and Mukunda, they came to Puri to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, oh Mukunda, could you please tell me who is the father, who is the son? Right? It's obvious, no need to ask, right? Mukunda is the father and Raghunandan is the son. But then Mukunda said, oh my Lord, Raghunandan is my father, I am his son. Because Sai Krishna Tattvaveda Sai Guru, because he has much more devotion to you, much more devotion, right? Faith in you than myself. So whoever has a more faith, he is a senior. Right? And Lord is so pleased, he laughed at him. Right? Yes, it's not by any other way we become senior in Krishna consciousness, it's a faith. Right? So yes, and it is mentioned that every day, though it's in that area, it's very difficult to find a kadamba flowers. In the courtyard of Raghunandan, there will be 2 kadamba flowers in the garden. That would really come up every day, and Raghunandan would come and offer it to Gopinath deity. This is the greatness. Yes. This is the beauty of Lord's reciprocation. So then somebody might ask that, okay, maybe I will have some deity at my home. Is it really required to visit the temple? What do you say? Is it not good enough just to kind of, take care of some deity worship at home? What do you say, Prabhuji? Mataji? Here Lord Kapila is saying, Madhisnya darshana sparsha puja stuti abhivandane bhuteshu madbhavanaya sattvena asangamena cha. He is saying that the devotees should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. So, here it is very beautifully mentioned that how it's not just enough, right, to just worship the deity at the home, but also we should visit the temple where the deity is installed with some prana pratishtha procedures. our especially Jiva Goswami, he has mentioned it, that how a devotee should really visit the temple, associate with the devotees at the temple, serve the deity at the temple in various ways. We offer our body, mind, and words in the service of the deity. And that is really the right aspiration for a devotee. So yes, even if not daily, at least we should see a lot of devotees nowadays, thanks to the new age, right? We can see even the darshanarti of the temple. Right? But definitely it is recommended to visit the temple also, right? As frequently as possible, right? So that we can get the opportunity to serve the deity, we get the opportunity to serve the devotees of the Lord, right? Because especially the deity worship, right, where we come, we offer obeisances to the Lord, we offer water to the Lord, we do arati to the Lord, all these items, right, especially the deity worship itself, like it covers 32 aspects of the bhakti, different limbs of bhakti. We said, right, like there are 64 limbs of devotional service, right, and 32 limbs are covered in the deity worship, in this archana, right. So if you are doing deity worship, right, because some people say that, right, that okay, because it is mentioned that this is the age of Kali and we will just do hearing and chanting. What is the need of deity worship? Why there is a need of deity worship? Yes? Yes, and Srila Prabhupada writes here very beautifully in this purport, that especially in this age of Kali, Sankirtan alone is sufficient. If the members of our temple in the different parts of the world simply continue Sankirtan before the deity, especially before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will remain perfect. There is no need of any other performances. Nevertheless, to keep oneself clean in habits and mind, deity worship and other regulative principles are required. Srila Jiva Goswami says that although Sankirtan is sufficient for the perfection of life, the archana or the worship of deity in the temple must continue in order that devotee may stay clean and pure. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur therefore recommended that one follow both process simultaneously. What process? The Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi. The Pancharatrika Vidhi is following the proper rules and regulation for the deity worship, and the Bhagavata Vidhi is really the hearing and chanting of the Lord. So we strictly follow these principles of performing deity worship and Sankirtan along parallel lines. Just like we see the railway track, right, how the two tracks goes together. Similarly, right, we should continue our hearing and chanting. At the same time, we should do the deity worship. Right? If you just do only deity worship, right, and especially Srila Prabhupada says, quoting Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, this Archa Vigraha, will feel like Gala Graha, will feel like a burden if you don't hear and chant. Right? If you don't hear sufficiently over a period of time, we'll think that, oh, why my spiritual master has given this deity for me to worship. It is so much of burden, so much of services, to wake up in the morning, to wake up the deity and to take care of all the arati and so many things. But then, once you complement it with regular hearing from our scriptures, studying the scriptures, then we understand that how we are fortunate to get an opportunity to serve the deity. Right? That's really the key. Or otherwise, if you just do, right, only hearing and chanting and don't do deity worship, that's also not good. Because because we are so much of subjected to the temptation, from various places. The deity worship, ensures that we really maintain clean. We come clean in front of the deity. We make clean in terms of the way we present to the deity. Right? So the cleanliness really comes, right, as a discipline byproduct. Once you do this deity worship. Okay. So yes, there's a very beautiful discussion between the Saunakadi Rishis and all the Nemisaranyas sages. There they really mention very beautifully, especially the eyes that which really don't see the beautiful form of the Lord. They are like the printed plumes of the peacock. The legs which do not really go to the temple, right? They are like tree trunks. Right? So what in other way they are saying that, yes, we should really utilize our eyes to have the beautiful darshan of the Lord. We should utilize our legs to visit dhams of the Lord. Right? Yes, this is recommended by our acharyas. Right? And specially, strongly recommended for the householders. Why? In this beautiful purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing. Of course, this is the same purport where Prahlad Maharaj is talking about his Navavidha Bhakti, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And there is a long purport, and in the section of Archana, Prabhupada is talking about this one. What is saying? Especially for the householder devotees, and especially who are opulent in material possessions, the path of deity worship is strongly recommended. An opulent householder devotee who does not engage his hard-earned money in the service of the Lord is called a miser. One should not engage paid brahmanas to worship the deity. Deity worship in the temple should be performed specially by the householders. Grihastha devotees are generally engaged in material activities, and therefore if they do not take to deity worship, their falling down is positively assured. Any householder devotee circumstantially unable to worship the deity must at least see the deity worship. If you are not able to do it, please see the deity worship. And in this way, he may achieve success also. The special purpose of deity worship is to keep oneself always pure and clean. And Grihastha devotee should be actual example of cleanliness. That's why Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that, especially in the temple, all the householders, they should come forward to serve the deities. We should not be lazy, or we should not be miser in serving the deities of the Lord. Yes, that's why we see that. How many of you been to Jaipur? Radha Govindji temple, you have been there? How in this palace of Jai Singh, beautiful worship of Govindji is happening. Yes, right. So every day morning you go, you see so beautiful sound vibration. How the people would be coming and offering their heart to the Lord, and they would be offering hundreds and thousands of bhoga to Govindji in that palace. In that palace, Jai Singh has ensured that the Lord Govindji is the proprietor. Or like you go to Ranganath and Srirangam, you'll see that Ranganath is the proprietor of that place. Or you go to Travancore, right? The Travancore kingdom, how all the kings that ensure that they are the trustees of Lord Anand Padmanabh. This is the culture of India. This is the Sanatan Dharma culture, where all the kings, all the saintly or who are opulent, they used to engage everything in the service of the Lord. Or now, following that same example, this great grandson of Henry Ford, who is Albert Ford or Ambarish Prabhu, he is really building this huge TOVP temple. Right? Yes. And in our part, if you are not contribute little bit to TOVP, and also locally we can also do something so that a beautiful temple can come up in the ISKCON Whitefield. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes. So yes, once you do this deity worship, it has to be also followed with some rituals. These rituals are not just some process that we do some offer arati, we do some abhisekam. It's not just a mechanical process, right? It's not just mechanical, because we add really spirit into it, and then we convert that ritual to spiritual. Right? Can we completely take out the rituals? Because Lord is Bhavagrahi, He will accept our emotions, He will accept our intentions. Why do all these rituals are required for the deities? Why do you say? What do you think? Why all these rituals are required? Like in cricket also, they follow a lot of rituals before starting the play. Right? Or in the court also, they follow some rituals. They address each other in a certain ways. Isn't it? Right? Because, or, right, like people, they want to do party also. They want to party also with some certain rituals. Right? Because externals influence the internals. Once we offer everything to the Lord, it means that we are offering as a gratitude. Oh Lord, whatever you have given to us, this is our thanksgiving to you. Right? And just like, we say that, we take the water from Ganga and we offer to the Ganga. And it's just a matter of gratitude. That is the philosophy behind the rituals. This is an act of gratitude. Once you do this, it transforms our heart. From the greed to the generosity, from the lust to love, from the hatred to the appreciation of the devotees. This really helps. Yes, some of the rituals, is it always rigid? No. Right? This can be adjusted based on the time, place and circumstance. But we have to follow. We have to follow. Right? And there are so many things, right, which was limited and, done in a certain way. Srila Prabhupada, right, because he's really empowered. He transformed a lot of rituals. In the Western places, once he started, right, installing the deities, right, he started installing this Jagannath deity in Los Angeles, right, the first, or San Francisco, the first set of deities, right, he told the devotees, come in the queue and just offer this lamp, and that's how we'll do the prana pratishtha, right. That's where it started, right. But then over a period of time, Prabhupada really, elevated the standards, right. That how, right, like the devotees would continue a certain ways of, following the deity worship, right. Yes, what are some practical benefits of this deity worship? It really saves the followers from these hellish attractions of Maya, because if you are not engaged in the Lord's service, means we will be engaged in Maya service. The choice is ours. So we have seen that how, like all these hippies, Prabhupada used to say that you just bring some fruits, you bring some flowers, just sumana arpana matrena kumanas sumanasta bhavet, right? Like, just by offering a flower to the Lord, your heart will get transformed. Just bringing off fruits to the Lord, offering to the Lord, your heart will get transformed. That is a power. Because with the, because the pure devotee invokes the Lord, maybe in that Bauri, in that most contaminated place. That is the power of a devotee. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhasitam. Right? The words of the devotee never fails. Right? And he can really transform the heart. He can really engage everybody. All the devotees. And once people might come with a mundane attitude, but that really get transformed into spiritual thoughts, spiritual inspirations. Once they really engage their body, mind and words in the service of the Lord. And this is one more important thing, especially for the parents, that how we can be an example at home to offer everything to the Lord, especially deity worship, so that the kids, they learn from us. Okay, whatever we bring it, first we offer it to the deity. Recently we celebrated the appearance day of Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. We learned a very good lesson, right, in the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. When the mangoes were brought, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur at the time, his Bimal Prasad, he said, oh, this is a nice mango, let me take it. Though always there is a standard at home that they would offer everything, but on that day, somehow because of innocence, he took one mango. But then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said that no, it was not offered, how did you take it? Right? And then Bimal Prasad said, oh, I am such a sinful person that I took it without offering it to the Lord. And from today onwards, I will not eat mangoes. Such a child, right? But then the kind of sanskaras that were really, there at home, it was not just by force. Even after taking sannyas, even after having so many disciples, if some disciple would bring mango to Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he would say that, no, I am a sinful person. I have taken once mango without offering to the Lord, I will not take it. Right? That's the kind of determination, that's the kind of sanskaras, right? A parent can really bring, within the child. We hear that how Parikshit Maharaj, he was really praying, with beautiful deity forms of Krishna. Right? Or like Srila Prabhupada, he used to say the Abhay Charan, he used to see that how his father, right, Gaur Mohan, he used to worship Radha Govindji. He used to tell that, oh, my father, right, early in the morning he used to ring the bells and offer the deity worship for hours and hours, and only in the afternoon he will go to his shop and for a couple of hours, and then he will come back once again, he will be engaged. That's what I have learned from my father. I have learned everything from my father. Because he is so much attached to the deities. right? Yeah, that's the kind of an example that we can really set for our kids. We cannot tell that, oh, you chant, oh, you do the deity worship. They will really see. They will see more, what you are doing rather than what you are saying. So yes, it should be a good standard that all of us, can cultivate at our home. And then yes, especially the deity worship, I was speaking to our Prasad Prabhu and Suma Mataji, they really put months and months of effort really in, bringing nice costumes for the lordships. Months, just to take one set of, deity clothes. Right? You're so much absorbed. The devotees, once they make the flower garland, they prepare hours for one garland. Right? At that point, you're completely absorbed. Right? Or you are preparing the festivals. And especially, one time there was a discussion amongst the GBC members. What is the best way of preaching? Because, somebody might be thinking that, oh, deity worship means within hours. We want to go out and preach. And, at that point in time, once a discussion was happening, and Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he asked that question, what is the best method of preaching? The devotees gave different answers. And at that point, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said, the best form of preaching is to organize big festivals in our temples. Because, even in Srila Prabhupada, one time he wrote a letter to Gopal Krishna Maharaj, while he was taking care of Delhi temple. He said that, yes, I'm very happy the way you are organizing festivals in the temple, so that people are coming so regularly and so in big numbers. Right? Yes, this is another way of preaching. And another way also, that the devotees, they really go out for preaching. But once they come and see that how the deities are so beautifully decorated, right, their heart gets enlivened. Right? So there is a complimenting. It's not that, okay, the devotees who are staying and only just taking care of the deities, they are inferiors. No. Right? There is it's a complimenting each other. Okay. So, recently I was there in our South Temple, South Bangalore Temple, our Narhi Chaitanya Prabhu. He was saying that, since we have really come up with this temple, this new temple now, he was saying that, around 80 families have come down, right, around this place. And they come and, do various kinds of services. Right? The temple is a center for everything. Right? So, yes, that should be the culture. Especially if you see in Jagannath Mandir Puri also, it is mentioned there are 192 types of services are there, different daitas are there. So many people are engaged. Or you go to Sri Rangam or Tirupati or even Melkote. How so many people, they are so much enlivened, right, to really engage in the service of the Lord. Right? Yes, Prabhupada talks about that. There was an old lady, this 1960s, right, when Prabhupada was there in Radha Damodar temple translating the books, right. And he tells that every day morning there used to be old frail lady who used to bring water from Yamuna to Radha Damodar for the Abhisekam. Right? And Prabhupada would say that, yes, even though her health was not good, not so strong, but because she had so much enthusiastic to serve Radha Damodar, definitely she will go back to Godhead. Right? Yes, we should be enthusiastic in serving the deities of the Lord. Right? Yes. And that's why this another benefit of the deity worship is that it gives constant remembrance of the Lord. So one time one devotee was saying, oh Prabhuji, आपके घर पे क्या क्या है? नहीं, हमारे घर पे freeze है, washing machine है, freeze to take care of to store the food, washing machine to take care of the dirty clothes, and I have also karma purifier machine. I have an altar. Once I put some food and it gives karma free. That's a karma purifier machine. Right? Deity is not a karma purifier machine. He is there to accept our love. Because we have heard that, okay, what, if you do take it as it is, then you will incur sin, then okay, just offer it, just a kesari karke, and then you bring it. Right? Just a quick wash, right? Then washing machine is quickly 2 minutes offering करके चल लेके आ जाओ, right? क्योंकि बड़ा भगवान बाहर है, अभी ऑफिस जाने का है. No, it has to be offered with love, right? And then, yes, why this prasadam is so sweet once we accept it at home? Because it's cooked with so much love. It's right. It's offered to the deity with so much love, and then Mahaprasad it comes. The devotees also offer that with so much of love. Right? Yes, this we should be really engaged ourselves and how we can really have a grander and grander deity worship. Right? And also it helps we can get rid of this sense agitations. Especially our Bhurijan Prabhu, he was here, he was doing this japa seminars, right? And he used to be doing a lot of Bhakti Shastri courses in Vrindavan temple, and the devotees would go to him, and Jagatarini Mataji, Prabhuji's wife, and asking for different problems, asking for the different solutions to their problems. And Bhurijan Prabhu and Mataji, they would say just only one thing, by the way, there is a big counselor in the temple, there's a big one, there's a Krishna Balram. So you go and stand in front of them, and they will take care of all your problems. Right? Yes, whatever happens, we should really come in front of the deity, and we should pray to the deities, right? And the deity will reciprocate with a smile, right? So you have seen Radha Madhav's smile, or here in how many of you been to Kanchipuram? Right? Only few. Only few. You should go sometimes. You see this Varadarajan, right? He's so beautiful, with a smile, right? Here Prabhupada says that how when sometimes a devotee with so much of purity, if he asks questions, the Lord reciprocates, he answers. Alright? There was this devotee called Kanchipurna. This devotee, he would stand in front of Varadarajan. He would ask different questions on behalf of devotees, and Lord would answer that. Right? And especially Ramanujacharya, one time he had composed 6 questions, especially on the different Vedanta Sutra, different questions. And then, right, Lord Varadarajan answered that through the Kanchipurna. Right? And yes, there are so many beautiful stories, and especially, right, the smile of the Lord. Right? It is mentioned that once you see the smile of the Lord, right, it is mentioned, Hasam Hare Ravanata Khila. So, once you see the smile of the Lord, then the ocean of the tears that has been accumulated for the lifetimes, that really gets dried up. What it means? That all the miseries gets wiped out from our life. So that's why we should come into the deities, and we should see the smile of the Lord. Because Lord's smile is so sweet, so sweet. And especially Bilwa Mangal Thakur, he is saying that Madhuram Madhuram Vapurasya Vibho Madhuram Madhuram Badanam Madhuram Madhugandhi Mridu Smitam Etadaho Madhuram 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 Madhuram. He's saying, oh, how Lord is so sweet. His form is so sweet, so charming, so enchanting. Right? He's saying Madhuram Madhuram Vapurasya. He's so grand, he's Bibhu. At the same time, he's so sweet. That's a contrast, because if something is really big, it's not so sweet. But for the Lord, it's big also, and it's sweet. It's grand and it's sweet. And he's saying that it's not only his form is sweet, his face is much more sweeter. That's why he uses 3 Madhuram. Madhuram, Madhuram, Badanam, Madhuram. But then he little zooms in a little bit more. And then what he sees? Mridu Smitam, the smiling of the Lord. And he's saying, this is out of the world, and that really captures the heart of the devotee. And he says, Madhuram, 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 Madhuram. Actually, if you would not have a poem, you would have prose, you would have continued much more. But in a poem, in a verse, you have to maintain some decorum, right? So he just ended with the 4 Madhuram. Right? It's sweet. So you should, serve the Lord, right? Because the Lord reciprocates with a smile. Right? Yes. Okay, time is running out, but there are beautiful pastimes of the Lord. How Lord is being served by Madhavendra Puri. You can read, from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 4th chapter. How Madhavendra Puri serves Gopalji, right? Without considering any impediments or any obstacles. How Madhavendra Puri serves. How Lord comes 3 times in the dream of Madhavendra Puri, right? And then how Madhavendra Puri serves. He would not care for anything. Pragada premarai sohave achar. Nija dukkha vignadira nakare vichar. A devotee does not consider what are the tiny obstacles that he might have to go through to serve the Lord. There's another beautiful story told by Nityananda Prabhu while they were coming from Navadip to Puri about the Saksi Gopal. How Lord came as a Saksi for this day, for this Brahmana. At that point of this Brahmana says to the Lord, Pratimanaha tumi saksad Brajendra Nandana. Vipra lagi karo tumi akarya karana. Lord does inconceivable things, for the pleasure of his devotees. So Yes, right. Lord appears in so many ways, and especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Lord appears in 8 forms. Saili daru mahi lohi, lepya lekhya cha saikati, mano mahi mani mahi, prati matsya vidhasmata. Lord appears in form of stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, and mind. And the Manasa Puja, especially in the Nectar of Devotion, we hear Prabhupada talks about this Brahmana in Pratisthanpur, how he would meditate everything and offer everything to the Lord. Even if we are not able to offer everything through our some deities, we can offer into the mind also, right? So now question might be asked, okay, what is the qualification, how what is required to perform the deity worship, right? So the only qualification that is required is to take shelter of the spiritual master, to follow the instruction of the spiritual master, because the spiritual master, he is always engaged in the service. Swavigraharadhana nityanana Sringara tan mandire marjanado Yuktasya bhaktam cha niyunjatopi Ande guru sri charanaravinda. So is it that? Because this guru, the spiritual master, and he is always engaged in the deity worship. Nitya nana, Sri Vigraha Aradhana Nitya nana. So we should really assist our spiritual master. Right? Yuktasya bhaktam, so he can really engage us. We should really follow, right? Especially, we have seen how, especially Gopal Krishna Maharaj, every day, without fail, even if his health would not be okay, even if, right, he would be traveling and doing so much of engagement, still every day morning he will be there for Mangalarti. Most of you might have seen, right? That's really about punctuality. That's really about that cleanliness, the discipline that the devotees would really have. And really offering. Yes, in our ISKCON we have a certain standard. We should have Harinama Diksha, we should really have Brahmana Diksha to offer the deity worship. But in a small centers, sometimes we have concessions as well, even if we are not, the devotees are authorized to do some of the intimate service. We should be thankful, we should be grateful for that opportunity we are getting. And we should have that desire, that how can we really have that intense desire to steadily progress in our devotional service, that we get an opportunity to serve. That now, of course, next time I think it will be discussed in detail, right? Yes, once you come into the deity, we should pray to the Lord. We should pray. It should not be just a mechanical exercise, eye movement exercise. We should offer our heart to the Lord in front of the deity, right? We hear that how Srila Prabhupada, right? He used to cry, in front of the Rupa Goswami Samadhi. He used to cry in front of Advaita Acharya's Bhajan Kutir, in Santipur. Right? Yes, we should. That's what Maharaj Pruthu also says, that, oh Lord, I don't need anything else. My only desire, is to really hear, the Krishna Katha, from the pure devotees of the Lord. And we can really, ask for these 3 benedictions, from the Lord once you come into the deities. You want to hear what you can really ask. There are so many things you can ask, right? But this is the most 3 important things that he can ask for. That's what Prithu Maharaj is. That's what Parikshit Maharaj is really, telling us. When he met Sukadeva Goswami, he said, these are the 3 things I'm really looking for. What? Because he said that I don't know, right? Because of so many maybe sinful activities I might have done, I might have to come again. But I want these 3 things. What I need 3 things? Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasangascha tadasresu mahatsu yamyam upayami shrustim Maitri astu sarvatra namo dijevya. He said, Punascha bhuyad, even if I have to come again to this material world, I don't mind. What I have to do? I have to have the rati, bhagavati anante. I want to have rati, I want to develop love, right, to the Supreme Lord Krishna. And then prasangascha tadasresu, I want to have association of the devotees of the Lord. That's the second thing. And third thing he's saying, that Mahatsvayame Upayam, how many number of times I may come, I don't, it doesn't matter. But what you really need? Maitri astu sarvatra namaya dijavya. I want to have a friendship with all the living entities. Right? So yes, we should have a friendly relationship with all the devotees. That's all about the spiritual community. Right? The deity is pleased when the devotees are pleased. If the devotees are not pleased, deity cannot be pleased. So with that, I would really like to pause here. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to serve all of you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for